Hola chicos, ahora vamos a continuar con el subjuntivo. Now this is a tense that we also use in English. It's just not very common. It's not as common as it is in Espanol. And this is a tense that we'll be talking about all throughout the second semester. Now, we use it to say that a person wants, suggests, or demands that someone else do something. That's when we're going to use a subjunctive mood. You can also suggest more general or impersonal ideas using expressions like es necesario que or es importante que. A sentence that includes a subjunctive has two parts, the main clause and the subordinate clause connected by the word que. Here are a couple of examples. Yo quiero, that's my first clause. I'm placing a want. Que is what connects my two clauses. Second clause, tú estudias mucho. Yo quiero que tú estudies mucho. I am placing a want on somebody else. I'm placing a want on you that you study. El doctor sugiere, okay, the doctor is suggesting, in this case. Que is what connects my two clauses. My second clause, yo haga yoga. So the doctor suggests that I do yoga. Since he's placing a want onto somebody else, in that case that's me, then I can use the subjunctive tense here. I must use the subjunctive tense. Notice that my subject in the first clause must be different from the subject in the second clause. My subject in the first clause must be different from my subject in the second clause. If they're not, then you're not going to use the subjunctive. All you're going to do is say, yo quiero estudiar mucho, por ejemplo. Okay, if I want to study a lot more, then that's a want for myself. No change in subject. I don't use the subjunctive. I just use that second verb in the infinitive form. To form the subjunctive, we have this lovely process that we use with our commands. We're going to take the yo form of the present tense. We're going to drop the yo ending, and then we're going to add the opposite ending. So for AR verbs, we're going to add our ER endings, and for ER and IR verbs, we're going to add our AR endings. Por ejemplo, saltar, salto, I drop the yo. For each of these, I drop the yo. So como, I drop the yo. Abro, I drop the yo. My forms in the subjunctive are going to be as follows. Saltar is an AR verb, so I'm going to add my ER ending. Salte, yo salte. Tú saltes, usted salte. Saltemos, saltéis, salten. You should notice that saltes, salte, and salten are the exact same forms that we learned with our negative two commands and our usted and ustedes commands. Comer, I drop the yo. Opposite endings, so AR endings. Yo coma, tú comas, usted coma, nosotros comamos, vosotros comáis, ustedes coman. Abrir, IR endings, so I'm going to add the opposite endings. Those are going to be the AR endings. Yo abra, tú abras, usted abra, abramos, abráis, abran. You should notice that for each of these, the tú, usted, and ustedes forms are exactly what we've seen with our negative two commands and our usted and ustedes commands. Now, since I have some irregular yo forms or a special change in the yo form, if it appears in the yo form, then it's going to appear in the subjunctive. So salir is yogo, ofrecer is a zco, escoger, the G changes to a J to preserve that H pronunciation. Incluir, we're going to have a Y in there. Okay, my forms of the subjunctive are going to reflect those changes that happen there in the yo form. Salir, yo salga, opposite ending still. Tú salgas, usted salga, salgamos, salgáis, salgan. Ofrecer has that Z-C change in all of my forms. Yo ofrezca, tú ofrezcas, usted ofrezca. Ofrezcamos, ofrezcáis, ofrezcan, opposite ending still. Escoger is going to have a J in all the forms. Escoja, escojas, escoja, escojamos, escojáis, escojan. Incluir has a Y in all the different forms. Incluya, incluyas, incluya, incluyamos, incluyáis, incluyan. Also, take notice that the usted and the yo form are going to be the exact same. How can you tell the difference? You'll just have to find it out based on context. My car-gar-zars. Okay, so once again I'm going to take the yo form However, when I drop the O, and that juego in the middle there should actually be pago. When I drop the O, I'm going to add not just the opposite endings, but I'm also going to change the C to QU, the G to GU, the Z to C. So yo sake, tú saques, usted saque, saquemos, saquéis, saquen. Still my opposite endings. Yo pague, tú pagues, usted pague, paguemos, paguéis, paguen. Yo cruce, tú cruces, usted cruce, crucemos, crucéis, crucen. And that's where we're going to stop for this particular lesson. Coming up, we'll be having the irregular verbs. These are the ones that you just have to remember. And then we'll have some special stem changing ones that will have special rules in them.